First picture of the terrorists as confirmed. I'm going across to those pictures. This is the picture that we had received a short while back. We had the picture since this morning, but we wanted to get a confirmation from our reporting teams and from our reporters on the ground, and a confirmation now coming in from official sources that this is the photo of the terrorist, one of the terrorists who carried out the attack in Pahalgam this morning, the last afternoon. This morning we have the first picture. I want to go across to Shravan. Shravan, we have a confirmation. We had this picture, but we were waiting for an official word on whether this is the picture of one of the terrorists. He's seen clearly, Shravan, if I'm not wrong, that is a picture of a man, a terrorist holding an AK-47/56.
Well, in fact, the estimate that we have right now, at least 4 terrorists who had basically entered the Baisaran pine forest area. That's the trekking route. In fact, what you see right now on the screens, this is one of the terrorists, is what we are being told. There were others who were in camouflage, and when they entered, the moment they entered the area, they started taking the tourists as hostages. In fact, they targeted the men. The women were basically let off. In fact, there was a messaging that they were basically trying to do across. Now, what's important to point out here is that there are 4. In fact, the route is from Kishtwar, is what we are being told. Kishtwar via Kokarnag is where they entered. There is a possibility, Niranjan, that the agencies believe that they may have been helped with local operatives. They're essentially working on who these local operatives are, whether at all they had carried out any sort of recce. Now, these are some aspects that the security agencies are already looking into, but the first picture of the terrorist armed with an AK-47, at least 4 is what we are being told. The possibility of that increasing to 6 also, but right now we are waiting for an official confirmation to come up from the security agencies. What they have done so far is they have taken into account the eyewitness account. Secondly, what they have essentially done is, with certain reports, there was an intel alert, in fact, the agencies had, but remember that alert was of an IED attack, but that alert was also specific that non-locals would be targeted. Now, that's the intel that they already had. But having said that, this has come across as a surprise, because remember, tourists haven't really been targeted in Jammu and Kashmir. This perhaps is one of the worst attacks that we are looking at, where tourists have been targeted.
Shravan, I'm getting in more details of the identity of this particular terrorist and what this picture shows. The first pictures of the terrorist on the right of your screens. We have a confirmation from police sources that this is a terrorist, one of the 4 terrorists perhaps, at the attack site in Pahalgam. You can see behind him, that seems to be the exact area where the attack took place, that is in Pahalgam. And the Pakistani terrorist carried out the attack with help from local terrorists. Getting in more breaking news right now, I'm going across straight. Pakistan terrorists carried out the attack. A terrorist spoke with a Kashmiri victim in the local dialect. I have Gursimran joining me with the details of the investigation. The terrorist seen in the video, likely a Pakistani Punjabi, established by his style of the kurta. Now, these are details coming in as police officials look at the picture, study the picture and the proof.